Sensuality is an enriching experience that transcends mere physical touch. It invites us to explore openness and vulnerability, creating deeper connections with others. By engaging in mindful touch, we enhance our awareness of each other's desires and boundaries. This practice cultivates intimacy as it encourages honest communication and emotional safety. Each caress becomes a dialogue between bodies, transcending words and allowing us to connect on a profound level. Embracing the art of sensuality fosters trust, reigniting passion and curiosity in relationships. It's a journey of discovery, inviting us to celebrate the beauty of human connection through the transformative power of touch.
Hello and welcome back, dear listeners, to Pleasure Principles, the podcast where we dive deep into the mind, body, and spirit to unlock the key to living your most fulfilling life. I'm your host, Avik, and today we are going to explore how mindset and health play crucial roles in forming and nurturing the deeper human connections. So I'm joined by an incredible guest, Roman Fischer. So welcome to the show, Roman.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh, lovely, lovely. So, Roman, before we start our conversation, I'd quickly love to introduce to all of our listeners. Dear listeners, Roman is a fitness coach and health expert who has helped transform the lives of over 50 people, both mentally and physically. So, Roman's journey is not only inspiring, but deeply personal, as he has committed his life to helping others live longer, healthier lives after witnessing loved ones facing serious health challenges. So, his passion for fitness, nutrition, and wellness has become a mission to help others become their best selves. So, today we will explore the importance of mindset and health and how these elements influence our ability to connect with others. So, let's get started. Welcome to the show again, Roman.
Yes, thank you for having me, though. Appreciate it.
Lovely, lovely. So, Roman, your fitness journey began at a young age after witnessing the loved ones who struggle with health issues. So, if you can tell us more about those experiences, how those experiences shaped your mission to transform people's lives.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So growing up, I was really, really close to one of my, really both grandpas, honestly, but I will admit I was just even a bit closer to one of my grandpas when I was growing up at a younger age throughout my years in my life. And so back in the day, I spent a lot of family time with one of my grandpas. And it was specifically the grandpa on my mom's side. So we were super close. We connected very, very well, on an emotional and overall personal level. He was really big into, mechanics, really big into, trains and just the whole aspect of cars and just mechanical type things that people use, honestly, on a daily basis. But that's something that I actually shared a lot in common with him, seeing that connection. That was one, draw that I had to him and with him. And that really helped with our overall personal connection. But beyond that, I also always felt just a really warmth and a positive energy, if you will, about him and around him. So I had a really great, strong connection growing up. And we would always, see each other, visit each other around the holidays. Typically, whether it be my family, my family and I go in Wisconsin, or we would sometimes meet halfway. We would sometimes even meet at certain touristy spots like Branson for the holidays and really experience some good food together, some good events together, go to Silver Dollar City, see some, roller coasters and some shows, mainly some shows, and really just enjoy the time that we had together when we had it. But I'll be honest, even with all that being the case, even with all that being said, all right there, I really had that, instance, sudden moment in my life where just, again, very sudden. It was very sudden. My mom got the news, tragic news from one of her brothers in her family that, he passed away, just suddenly passed away. And I didn't know, obviously, how right away. I don't think a lot of people did anyhow, but then they got the news that one of the driving reasons, one of the driving causes and factors into how he passed away and like why he passed away was due to cancer. And a lot of it was, linked back to his unhealthy or unhealthier eating habits and just really lifestyle way of life. And so as we got into that, found that out, I also found out from my mom that he was a heavy, heavy sugar addict. And it was hard for him to, break that addiction because he was so addicted to eating anything and everything that had sugar in it, whether it be fruits or honestly, even worse yet, candies. And it was typically the added sugars that are not healthy for us. Obviously, fruits to an extent, you can have too much of too, but fruits are still obviously the better of the two when it comes to sugars, like the natural sugars. But he was super addicted to the added sugars, all the, sucrose and all those other additives that are put in our foods that make people want to keep coming back, coming back for more, to get more of the same. That's just poisoning our body. So my grandpa was super addicted to that. I found that out. And it was just a tragic event, obviously. And it really hit me hard emotionally, mentally. And just having that connection, that strong, strong bond that I had with my grandpa that we both shared together, and then seeing that just literally stripped away, all due to his health problem of mainly just not eating healthy, leading to his ultimate, cancer, which, took him out. But that was a really rough time for me. I can't stress that enough, how emotionally hurt and just how mentally, I was in a bad spot and just all the turmoil I was facing and feeling in that moment. But I will say, fast forward at least a few weeks to a month on, later on into the future, I used that pain. I had a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, just a lot of emotional pain, obviously, from it. But using that pain, I used it to my advantage to actually use that pain for fuel, turn it into fuel, to let it fuel me, to let it drive me in the right positive direction of helping other people out then. After I realized I was starting to better my health because I used that as a means and as a way to better myself, better my health. And also I got to admit too that me cleaning up my nutrition, a lot of it was because I was scared of going down the same route he was or he went, because I was a heavy sugar addict as well. I was super addicted to sugar, just like he was, just as him. And then after I found out that we were so similar in that aspect too, that was one similarity I didn't want to have or be part of one bit, one bit. And then I started to clean up my diet. Obviously, it took time, a lot of consistency, a lot of willpower, but I gradually got out of, the unhealthier way of eating, of drinking, and just overall unhealthy living. And I really made a huge transition and strides into the right direction, which again took time, but I got there. And then after I got there, I felt so much better. I felt a lot clearer in my head, in my mind. My mood elevated quite a bit from where it was. I didn't feel so depressed, anxious. I felt more focused and clear minded. And then that point on, I'm going to be honest, I just wanted to help other people do the same, because not only did I not want to go down the same route as my grandpa did, but I didn't want anyone else to. And ultimately from there, I wanted to make my grandpa happy and have him, look down on me and see the person that I became and that he could have been, but that I became, and that I was able to help other people become. So that's really, that personal connection really transformed, in so many ways, transformed my health then. And I use that personal connection and situation to not only help myself, but help out other people then. And it's been life-changing though, ever since, no doubt.
Exactly. Understood. Totally agree. So also one more thing, like so many people see like fitness as purely physical. So how do you encourage clients to embrace the mental and the emotional aspects of the wellness as part of their overall transformation?
Yes. Yes. The best way that I get any of my clients, whether they're clients I've had or clients I have now or future clients, really the best way I get them to understand the importance and to embrace ultimately their mindset, an emotional state, is to realize that for starters, fitness, yes, while it is very much physical in a lot of aspects, a lot of regards, it's not solely physical. And in some ways, too, it's quite a bit more than physical, if you will. So it's definitely physical, but then it's mainly mental and then emotional and then physical. As crazy as that sounds, for a lot of people that are listening right now, you might think, well, fitness, physical fitness, it's physical because that's why they call it physical fitness. And that's true. But really understanding that before the physical, you got to have your mind right. Your mindset has to be set right. It has to be in a good, positive headspace and a good place for yourself. So that way you can actually feel better emotionally, then physically become better off, become more fit, become just healthier as an overall individual for your life. And so that's really the key. And that's what I let my clients know first and foremost. Beyond that, I have them understand that they need to, find out their why. They have to really get a clear headspace about them and they have to get a clear understanding why they're even trying to get fit. So that's all mindset as well. Just really dialing in and really laser focusing on what they're trying to achieve, but why they're trying to achieve it from, day one. Why are you even trying to do this? Why are you trying to gain the 10 pounds of muscle? Why are you trying to lose the 20 pounds of weight? Like, why are you achieving this goal or why are you wanting to achieve this goal? You really got to figure that out. You really got to be crystal clear and laser focused on that. And I give my clients that exact, speech. I give them that exact instruction that you got to be crystal clear on your why and why you're even trying to achieve this fitness goal that you're trying to have set for yourself anyhow. And then from there, I also instruct them to take some time because life gets hectic. Life gets super hectic. Life can even get very stressful at times for most people, if not everyone. Everyone has their phases. Everyone has good days, bad days, but understanding you got to just take some time for yourself and you got to even just take 10-15 minutes sometimes, at least a few times out of the week, if not even daily, and just reset your mind, get out into nature, reset your mind and just clear your mind, clear your headspace, because there's a lot that goes on up in here. There is a lot that goes on up in here in your mind. But if you don't take the time to nurture your mind and really help your mind out and take care of your mind, mend any negative thought, and honestly release any negative thought, because negativity, it's really just toxicity for your success. Negativity is the toxicity of success. And that's what I love to tell my clients too. This negativity, the negative energy is not serving anyone. And it's definitely not serving yourself because it just makes yourself more drained. The more negativity you hold, it's like having weights on your back and then it just keeps adding to it. And there's another 10-pound plate and another 10-pound plate. And obviously you want to work out, you want to lift weights to get in shape. So of course that's true. But in this analogy, when you keep having weights added on to your back, it starts weighing you down. And then it's as if you're having good posture turning to bad posture because you can't stand up straight. You just can't function. You can't be mobile and you can't get to your goals because you have all this negative energy that's been weighing you down. So it's really, really vital and very important, very paramount, and just very crucial to take the steps, just the small steps daily, even to just go outside for 10-15 minutes, inhale, exhale, breathe in, breathe out the basics. And then just, you don't have to meditate, but even just do a small form of quote unquote meditation by just calming your mind. And it doesn't even have to be anywhere like going to the beach, going to the mountains, but getting outside, getting out into nature, maybe even going for a 10-15 minute walk around your block in your neighborhood or wherever you're at, even if you're in the city or in the country or somewhere in between. just really taking that time for yourself, prioritizing your health, because you are your own priority. You are your top number one priority. So that's key. And that's what I tell my clients to just really, other than finding your why out so you can stay motivated and consistent for your fitness goals, you got to get mentally primed and emotionally primed from your why. And then you got to reset your mind, because there's a lot of baggage that we accumulate from day to day. Like it or not, it's just part of life. Things come up, things just really get in your head. But releasing those negative things is key to continuing to move forward, to not feel weighed down, and honestly, feel weightless and feel limitless then. Because when you start feeling more weightless, you can actually get your mind in a more positive, limitless type of, thinking and type of framing. And when that is the case, you're not going to feel limited. You're not going to feel like your potential's down here when it's truly way up here. And honestly, the ceiling is is only the limit. There's really no limit, meaning there's literally no limit here. The sky's the limit, and you can achieve your fitness goals. But you just got to understand, you got to get your mind right, and you got to prime your mind in a right, clear, positive way. So that way, you're not going to let these things derail you and keep you in a rut. Because being in a rut, being in a mental and emotional rut, that is the thing that's keeping people the most in their fitness journey. So the importance of having that is key, to have a clear way of thinking. And if it helps, having an accountability partner, obviously a coach, a mentor. But I tell my clients, of course, I would be their accountability partner, their coach. But I tell them that outside of even just me, having also a family friend that can be with you along this way, having that connection, that personal connection to them, other than just me, having at least one or two other people in your life, especially people, ideally people that you know, that you love and trust. So a close friend, at least, or a family member, preferably, that you can really just talk to you about any of the stuff that's stressing you out, any of the things that might be weighing you down and keeping you in this, spot, in this negative headspace, in this rut. And just that way, it's a lot easier then to dig yourself out of it. And then from there, you can just keep going forward.
Lovely, lovely. Great. Thanks for sharing this. And also, also one more thing is coming to my mind. Like, what mindset shifts do you think are most important for people to make in order to start prioritizing their health? So, I mean, if you can share, like, how can this also benefit their emotional connections with others?
Yeah, for sure. The best way I would say for anyone, especially anyone listening right now, where they can make that mindset shift, especially when it comes to their emotional state of being, I will have to say this: the very best way is to realize that these things take time. You're not going to feel better right away. Know that there is a process to it. There is a timeline to this to feel better, not just physically, not just, mentally, but emotionally. There is a phase, there is a process to this. So understanding that and acknowledging that first and foremost, is key. So that way you're not setting yourself up for mental and emotional disappointment, and even physical disappointment. When you can figure that out, I really advise you to, other than getting an accountability partner, a coach, maybe even consider a full-on counselor, someone that you can talk to and have that deep personal connection with, in a nice setting that's relaxing, that's calm and inviting to you. So that way, if you're ever stressed, if you ever feel, disoriented, maybe you're just depressed, disappointed, whatever it might be, whatever negative experience or feeling that you have right now emotionally, having that professional, whether it be a fitness coach like myself or just a counselor that's in a setting physically with you in person, that is there to instruct you and give you tips, give you pointers, and give you just overall great advice to elevate your mood, elevate how you feel. That's another key, crystal clear way, and another strong way to elevate your mood and overall just become happier and feel better. And I'm going to say this too, the connection where this can be also based on nutrition and food, where it can actually connect to your mind as well, is making sure you have a overall, don't restrict your foods because that can also put you in a bad headspace. But having an overall flexible way of eating, obviously prioritizing healthier foods, but still having a balanced meal plan. So not cutting out carbs, not cutting out this food group, just eating what you love, but making sure you're in a caloric range you need to be to get to your goal, and prioritizing healthier foods like fruits, vegetables, healthy foods that can help with your mind, which then can actually help with your emotional state and mental state. Because I know growing up, I used to not eat healthy. I felt depressed, a lot more depressed when I was eating very bad and very unclean foods. And then I made that shift. Obviously, like I mentioned, it took time. But when I finally made that decision and that overall shift to start cleaning up what I was eating, what I was drinking and putting in my body, I felt better. I felt so much better. My depression went down dramatically. I got off prescription meds. And this can help for a lot of people listening at the moment right now. If you have medications right now for anxiety, depression, just anything emotional that you're just feeling drained with, cleaning up your nutrition, seeing what's in your foods, reading the ingredient labels, that is one of the best things you can do too for your overall health, your overall energy, and your overall emotional state and well-being. And that's going to make it a lot easier too to stay positive, be less anxious, be less nervous, and be less depressed. And you're just going to feel a lot clearer in your mind as well. So other than having some accountability partner like a coach, therapist, or even just cleaning up your nutrition, outside of those things, really getting your sleep as well is very key. Because not enough sleep, whether it's not enough hours in bed, resting, or maybe the quality of your rest when you are trying to rest is not as good as it could be. Those things all combined can make or break how you feel, not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally. So the connection is yet again, all three of those things. And so if you're tossing and turning in bed and you can't seem to, shut your mind off, so to speak, that can be a recipe for a really much a disastrous next day, which can actually make you feel more anxious, more, depressed, and just overall, just not so fulfilled with how you feel. You can actually feel a lot more weighed down and a lot less energetic. So I recommend, obviously, aim for at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So that way you're getting that, amount of sleep you need. But make sure you focus as much, if not more, on the quality of your rest, because getting 7, 8 hours of sleep is fine. But if you're getting up to go to the restroom all the time, you're tossing and turning in your bed even, those things aren't going to serve you. And yes, 7, 8 hours of sleep is good. But if you're always getting up, you're getting that interrupted sleep, that broken sleep, you're not going to feel as refreshed as you could be and should be the next following day. So making sure you not only get the 7, 8 hours of sleep, but make sure you cut your water intake out at least an hour or two before bed so you don't get up and go to the restroom. That way you can get better sleep automatically. Also, anything that is worrying you, that can actually lead to worse sleep too, because if you're stressed and just really upset and anxious about something, maybe you're not upset about something, you're just anxious about something. If you're taking that to bed with you, you're usually not going to sleep as well either. Chances are you're probably going to, wake up feeling very groggy and definitely not, refreshed at all. So making sure to, if there is something upsetting you, definitely address it, but try to do that as, far from bedtime as you can. And if it's close to bedtime and something comes up, let's just say, because life happens, it's happened to me, but if there's something that comes up and you're trying to go to sleep soon, you're about to get into your bedtime routine, and right before you go to bed, something hits the fan, literally things just go south and things are starting to stress you out. My best advice is to honestly don't try to go to bed then right away. address it as soon as you can, if possible. And if there's someone you can talk to get it off your chest. And this is a great way to bring in the personal connection and honestly, the overall, emotional state that you're in to help heal that before you try to go to sleep so you can better your energy and your emotional state. The best way is to talk to your family member or that person that you're having that issue with and just get it off your chest, get it off your mind. If that's something you feel like you have to do, if it's something that you can't take to bed with you, you can't just let it go. It's best to just face it head on and just really eat the frog, so to speak. So just tackle the issue as soon as you can. So you're not letting it linger, and then you're not letting it affect your sleep then, and it's not keeping you up at night. So that's another great way to just remove that stress, that anxiety from your bedtime, from your bedroom. And that's going to make you feel a lot better when you do go to sleep. You're going to feel more at ease. You're going to just feel a lot more accomplished, and you're going to feel in control of your life. You don't feel like things are getting on you and that things are weighing you down. And it's just going to make you feel overall just a lot more empowered and a lot more focused. And honestly, you're going to sleep a lot better knowing that you took care of that and that you got that off the back burner. So it's no longer lingering in your mind, in your head. And then from there, you can sleep a lot better. But essentially, though, getting enough sleep, that's also key as well.
Lovely, lovely. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing this, Roman. And also, just quickly, I'd love to ask you, like, looking back on your career, what has been the most rewarding part of helping people transform their lives? So, yeah.
No doubt. Yeah, the most difficult aspect, the most difficult part, I would say, that has been for me with trying to help people with their fitness, their mind, their body, their emotional state, just really all the above, everything in unison and combination. I would have to say the most difficult aspect is honestly getting them to see the big picture, if that makes sense. So trying to have them realize that this stuff takes time. It's progress. And I love saying this to everyone. And a lot of the podcasts I've been on, but it's progress over perfection. It is progress over perfection. Yes, we want the results, and ideally we want them as soon as possible, but nothing is overnight. At least nothing worth it is overnight. And these things take time. It comes in phases. But that doesn't mean that we should get discouraged. I mean, yes, it is normal to get discouraged, but that doesn't mean we should get discouraged. It is possible. We're human. We're going to have some moments where we're frustrated, where we're not getting the progress we want at the rate that we want. But understanding that, though, and living with that, but then not just letting that throw us off. Maybe we get thrown off for maybe a few minutes, but resetting and then going back to it, staying the course. But that has been probably one of the toughest things I've dealt with in terms of clients. And it's typically at the very first 1 to 2 weeks of their program. After that, though, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier for them to focus and start seeing the progress. And they're like, okay, this is why I'm doing this. Awesome. I love seeing the weight drop, the definition, the muscle growth, whatever their goal is at that moment, or maybe their back pain reduced a lot. So whatever it might be, whatever goal they might have. But that has been the biggest challenge for sure, is getting them to see the bigger picture and understanding these things take time. They really do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Lovely. Great. So, thank you so much. That's an amazing conversation, Roman. Dear listeners, Roman has shared such a valuable insights on how mindset and the health are the building blocks for the deeper connections, or the human connections, I would say, and for the better relationships. So it's very clear that when we prioritize our own wellness, it ripples out those around us, helping us connect on a more meaningful level. So thank you again, Roman, for joining us and for all the incredible work you do to help transform lives. So, if and also, dear listeners, if you are looking to enhance both your body and your mind and build stronger connections in your life, take Roman's wisdom to heart and start making those small, impactful changes today. So, thank you everyone for tuning into Pleasure Principles. Until next time, take care of your mind, body, and the soul, and always stay healthy, find healthier relationships, and intimate. Yeah. Thank you so much.